Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm the OPJellicent and I'm battling here for week number 6 of WPL season number 8 up against Ian and his Ladner Lanturn. Definitely one of my tougher matchups because he has a lot of offense that pressures me really nicely between the Zapdos and the Garchomp right here, as well as the Lycanroc, and then his bulk kind of naturally deals with mine too. I really don't have reliable ways of getting rid of Registeel aside from my Diggersby right here, but we are actually 5-0 coming to the week. He is currently 4-1, so we both really want to come out with a win right here. And let's go ahead and get right into team previews. So my Kyurem Black right here is a Roselli Berry set. Essentially it was meant to lure either the Primarina by taking a Moonblast and then knocking that out with a Fusion Bolt, and he also had a potential Mimikyu on his team which does outspeed Kyurem Black, so I could go ahead and take a Flare off, and then because of my ability Terra Volt I could go ahead and knock that out with Iron Head through its disguise, so that could have been very good. My primary win condition right here is my Diggersby, which as you can see does a ton of work after an agility right here. I just need to scout his Scarfer. The only Scarfer that would actually outspeed me would be the Lycanroc here. I do outspeed the Scarf Garchomp, so that's very good. Gotta be careful about Aqua Jet on Primarina as well, but I definitely expected that right here. Fortress is an Aqua Berry set, which is meant to go ahead and help out against the Garchomp and the Lycanroc right here. I can take any sort of fire attacks, and I do have dual hazards. I have Stealth Rocks and Spikes. Mega Deontay right here is actually a sub-Endeavor set, because I knew for a fact he was going to bring the Reuniclus set with Calm Mind, Acid Armor, Recover Psychic, because my roster does not have a Dark-type Pokemon, so I really need to go ahead and deal with that. I actually originally thought Mega Deontay got Heart Swap when building, and then I opened the builder and it does not get Heart Swap, so I cannot go ahead and steal those boosts, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm kind of relying on Sub Endeavor right here, which is not really a check because you can just go ahead and recover stall them, but we'll see how that works out. I have Azelf right here, which is actually a Choice Scarf variant for a couple of reasons. It is my secondary Reuniclus check if it has that setup set, because I can go ahead and trick at my Choice Scarf, and it is also able to go ahead and outspeed the Garchomp after a Z Sandstorm boost. I definitely expected Z Sandstorm Garchomp because offensively it just outsped everything, and I do need a good check to that, so I can go ahead and Scarf HP Ice it. And then finally I have my Tornadus right here, which is an Assault Vest pivot just for the Primarina right here. So let's go ahead and talk about his team for a little bit before we go ahead and get right into the game. I knew for a fact Registeel, Zapdos, and the Garchomp and the Reuniclus were coming, obviously, because the Registeel does really well defensively against my team, being able to go ahead and check Mega Deontay, Kyurem Black, as well as my Azelf quite nicely, as well as the Zapdos, which is able to go ahead and deal with some other things, Fortress and Torn. So that core right there kind of just stops my entire team. The one thing that can actually break through both is my Diggersby right here, but that is my win condition, so I do have to be careful. The Garchomp was either going to be Scarf or Z Sandstorm, so I have a good check in that with my Azelf, as well as a switch in with Fortress, and yeah, definitely one of my tougher matchups right here, and let's go ahead and see what happens. I decided to lead off right here with my Fortress, kind of anticipating Garchomp lead, because he could go ahead and offensively pressure me with either rocks or an attack. But thankfully, he does not end up discharge paralyzing my Kyurem right here, so I make a play, go for Earth Power, and it does no damage to this Registeel. So this Registeel is clearly like max Spadef. It's designed to go ahead and help out against Kyurem and Mega Deontay and whatnot. I knew for a fact either Thunder Wave, Toxic, or Rocks were going up right there. I really couldn't risk Diggersby on a Toxic because obviously he would get my win condition on a timer, so I decided to go ahead and just get in my Fortress right here, use it as an opportunity to go ahead and get up my Rocks, knowing that Thunder Wave is coming too, so I can go ahead and take that. As Zapdos is going to go ahead and come in here. I don't get fully paralyzed, which is nice. He's going to go ahead and discharge this next turn. Weakens me for the Lycanroc, but I really did not want to have anything else get discharge paralyzed, but unfortunately I get fully paralyzed right there, so I did Volt Switch that turn. I could have gotten in Kyurem Black or Mega Deontay for free, but unfortunately he's going to get the defog off due to that para, but I guess it's not the biggest deal. I can go ahead and maybe put them up later again. I get in Deontay right here. I know for a fact the Registeel is coming out, so I decided to go ahead and just swiftly predict that and go out into Diggersby. I make the wrong play this next turn. He has 1 ground immunity. I should have just predicted it coming out and gone for the return, but I go for Earthquake, and I'm able to go ahead and lose my momentum after that double. So I go for a return right here, which is kind of interesting because I obviously don't want to take a Toxic or any sort of paralysis, but he actually misses the Toxic, which is very big. Diggersby is my one way of gaining any momentum in this game, because against my other offense, he literally just goes Registeel or Zapdos every time, and I really cannot break through any of those Pokemon with these other Pokemon right here, so I decided to go ahead and weaken it, as unfortunately he misses the Toxic on probably the biggest threat to his team. So that is kind of the beginning of his struggles right here, as you guys are going to see. I'm able to go ahead and dodge that. This next turn, I make the safe play and go for a turn, as it's still going to do a stupid amount of damage to this Lycanroc right here. 73%, absolute savage number, as I can go ahead and bring out my Fortress on the Iron Head. That shows me that it's probably either Banded or some sort of, I guess, like Steel type plate set. Those were the only 2 rolls he could have actually gotten that with, so it's one of the 2. I'm expecting Choice Band, because why would you run Steel Plate just for Iron Head, right? So I'm able to go ahead and basically Volt Switch out on this Reuniclus, and this is the Reuniclus set that I knew was coming for a fact. So like I said, it's either Deontay or Azelf. Now, I kind of blanked in this battle, and I kind of forgot that I had a Choice Scarf Trick Azelf, so I never actually utilized that against this Reuniclus, which is going to end up costing me a lot, as you guys are going to see right here, because I really don't deal with this thing very well. I'm going to go ahead and sub up, because sub Endeavor is my plan, and essentially, we don't have to watch through all of this. He goes ahead and sets up all the way to +6. And at this point, he's eventually going to go ahead and attack me. I never crit through him, which is unfortunate, but the only turns where the crit would have actually mattered were turns where he was below 70%, which I only think there were like 1 or 2 turns where that actually happened. So unfortunately right here, he's going to go ahead and get up all the way to +6, and I don't have a reliable play right here. I have to try to go ahead and get the Endeavor turn correctly right here. I have to Endeavor on a turn where he doesn't recover, so at the end of the sequence right here, he's going to have 5 more recovers than I have Endeavors right here. I have 8 Endeavors. He has 13 recovers by the time this sequence ends right here, so he's able to go ahead and eventually get me down to 1% and break my sub with Psychic. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and fire off that first Endeavor. I know for a fact he's expecting it. Why else would I continue spamming sub? As he goes for the recover right there, and essentially I have to get this turn correct. I go for Endeavor again, so I'm down to 6 right away, as he goes ahead and recovers up again right here. This next turn, I start firing off some Moonblasts, knowing for a fact that he's going to go ahead and recover up again all the way up to full. And I know for a fact he's going to continue spamming it. I have no reason not to click Moonblast again. However, as you guys are going to see right here, eventually he does end up getting the turn correct. I drop his special attack, but that does not matter. He's going to go ahead and knock me out with Psychic, and essentially I don't really have a way of beating this thing anymore. So I got to go ahead and make some very skillful maneuvers right here, as you guys are going to see. Go ahead and take Kieran Black, click Ice Beam, bring in Diggersby, bop, and that thing is gone. So I get in Fortress on the Garchomp right here, skillfully maneuvering my way around that Reuniclus after getting the Endeavor play wrong. So that was very cool. Definitely like how I played that. And Fortress is in now. So if you look at the matchup as a whole now, Diggersby does really well against the rest of his roster right here. I literally just agility up and everything dies. So that's the plan. He's going to go ahead and bring out the Garchomp right here. I bring out Fortress on that. Go ahead and take nothing from that attack right there. As this turn I can just go ahead and Gyro Ball. My mindset behind that Gyro Ball right there was, if he has Yachi Berry, I do need damage from my Ice Punch to actually be able to knock that out from Diggersby, so I figured that was my best play. As this Registeel doesn't really want to do much to me anyway, I can just go ahead and Volt Switch out. He's going to go ahead and I believe just go ahead and get up his Rock, so that's fine. I get fully paralyzed, which kind of makes up for the Toxicness earlier. The only reason Diggersby actually has a chance right here is because of that Toxicness earlier. Had my Diggersby been Toxic right now, I definitely would not have been able to win with it, but essentially right here he's going to go ahead and try to get in his Zapdos to roost. I'm able to go ahead and thankfully break through this time and get in my Torn, which can knock this out with Sludge Wave. Despite his investment, whatever he may have, the Sludge Wave crit right here did not matter. I definitely knocked that out every time, and now that basically eliminates Static Paralysis from being a factor against my Diggersby right here. So he's going to go ahead and bring out his Lycanroc right here, knock me out with the Accelerock. I'm very much expecting this thing to be a choice band set now, so I go ahead and bring out my Diggersby this turn, use it as an opportunity to go ahead and get my agility up, and basically to be able to go ahead and rip through his team right here. He's going to go ahead and Accelerock again right here. I can go ahead and return. I am in range of an Aqua Jet from Primarina, but interestingly decided not to run that tech for my Agility Diggersby. I definitely think Agility Diggersby was a pretty obvious bring. It just rips through his team at preview, or I guess in the matchup as a whole it ripped through his team. He's going to go ahead and bring in Pish right here, his Primarina. I'm going to go ahead and knock that out with the return. Interestingly, Registeel is going to go ahead and live this Earthquake right here. It was adamant, so not really sure what to think about that. He's going to go ahead and Iron Head right here, and then Kieran Black will be able to go ahead and knock this out with Earth Powers. So I robbed him hard. I definitely... First of all, the Toxicness was big. That was the beginning of his trouble. After I got that Endeavor sequence wrong with my Deontay, I did not Endeavor on the correct turn. Unfortunately, he was able to go ahead and get his Reuniclus safely in, but I was able to go ahead and very skillfully maneuver my way around that with an Ice Beam Freeze into a return crit from Diggersby. So very happy with how I did that, and did hope you all enjoyed right here. So next week, I believe I battle Storm and his San Diego Sneasels. Definitely should be an interesting one. I believe I lost him last season, so going to be a very scary match right there. And I'll see you all then. Later.